Deuteronomy chapter 18, Moses is speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel. It starts in verse 15, and then he goes on and he says that I will raise for you from among your brethren a prophet like me. And the New Testament tries to assert this notion that it is Jesus. According to some Muslims, such as myself, I interpret this passage to be about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, for a multitude of different reasons. From your perspective, who is the prophet that Moses, peace be upon him, is speaking about in Deuteronomy 18?
It's his chief disciple who is prominent in the Quran. His name was Yehoshua ben Nun, Joshua, who was the primary uh, disciple of Moses of blessed memory. The key is, I will put words in his mouth, and you must follow. You must follow what he tells you. And if we looked at Deuteronomy 34, verse 9, you'll see the Spirit of God was placed in Joshua, son of Nun, and the people obeyed him.
What's interesting is you quoted Deuteronomy 34, verse 9, in relation to Joshua. In Deuteronomy 34:10, it says that no prophet like Moses has arisen from Israel. The way that I understand Deuteronomy 34:10 is that it's proclaiming that from Israel there will never be somebody at the level of Moses. And then it qualifies later, and it says that knew God face to face. So how exactly would you interpret Deuteronomy 34:10 with respect to your view that it's Joshua?
There's no prophet as great as Moses, meaning that Moses had the most unique revelation directly with God, not with an angel, not with anyone else. God spoke to Moses in a totally different way than other prophets, whereas other prophets, they were in a sleep or they were in some sort of trance. Moses was completely awake. Moses was completely conscious.
I do agree that Moses' revelation was unique in comparison to the other prophets. You are correct about that. What I would differ on is that Muhammad, peace be upon him, did also speak to Allah in the state that you mentioned for Moses, which is not in a sleep-like state or not with necessarily an intermediary, because the Prophet Muhammad received revelation in a multitude of different ways. Some in the form of dreams, some with the angel Gabriel, peace be upon him, in between. And there was also a direct instance where he did speak to Allah directly. And this is something that is held within Orthodox Islam. So, in terms of a prophet raising like Moses, would you be charitable to the interpretation that I hold, which is that there is, I guess, a prophet that came and did speak to God directly?
I just want to be clear. So because you said that Muhammad spoke directly to God, and I want to
Yes.
make sure I understand that. I didn't hear you say that God spoke directly to Muhammad without the use of an angel.
Oh, he did. Yes. In the instance, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, speaks directly to Allah, and Allah responds back without an intermediary.